Well, good afternoon, folks. Hey, it is Shooter. Going to do a little market recap, a little bit what's going on today, maybe what's going on tomorrow, So at the end of the presentation, please do review our disclosures. So I'm going to start off with Bitcoin because I know everybody wants to know about this because we had a little chatter in chat about this. So, hey, we're moving again. We, basically went back to the 138.2 fib extension on our second golden box, and we're running. Whatever news there was on the ETFs about being cash only, etc., maybe been a little limiting. We did see a large whale move about 846 million onto the exchange, so that came out of cold storage. So like I'm watching the tape like a hawk. We've got alert sets for accounts, large orders, see if we could see them starting to sell, but that also could be repositioning. So right now I don't see any reason technically why we should come off, and in an intermediate wave 4, it's completely normal for us to do this. Right now I left my old targets up here, the 44.509 and the 41.02. It's now just extended up to this 3 at 46 based on this leg here. So, we've accelerated quite a little bit. So, all right, let's look at GBTC. We've got a confirmed high here, or close to it anyways, no matter how you slice the bread. So I'm looking at this as drive 1, and our 3 will be drive 2, 4, and then 5 should be 3. So I do think we get a 3 drive to a top up here. And then, we got a decent shot at 50% back wherever that is. So, at this point, our target 3 is 37. It's in play. It's been, drifting around change-wise a little bit, so it's pretty consistent. If Bitcoin gets a little too euphoric, that could push, quite a little bit further. All right. So wanted to look at Bitfarms because I know I had 3 questions on that today. Intermediate wave is still up at 381. I see no reason why that should change. Nice pull, nice flag starting. So we maybe get 1 more weekly candle, I would think, and then we get out of this, maybe 2. It was sort of a thought there. Now, I also wanted to bring up Marathon because I posted it in chat. We're breaking out here on the 8th day. So, once this back test comes in at 1827, we got a shot at $52 up here. I actually like this. And I actually like coin, with a very similar look. Let me just get my chart organized because it was an afterthought to go here from what I set up. So maybe we get this back test. Well, I actually changed that. Maybe we get this back test to 144, and our account has now pushed the euphoria of that. So let me get in line where did not adjust my target 2 yet. Now realize this is a counter trend leg. I don't really like counter trend plays for this group, simply because it's sort of counter to a position trade, because at 277, you're going to want to sell coin. You're not going to hold it. So that's my thought. Okay, let's jump to indices. So we're going to start off with the dollar. No man's land. We haven't gone anywhere. We're in between the 8 days. We're sort of there. Maybe push a little bit, maybe flush a little bit. Right now, not doing too much. Similar with the SPY, sort of flaggy. Nice pull, nice flag. So maybe we get 1 more lower candle this week, and then we should head towards that intermediate wave around 479, about $8 higher. I think that manifests this week. If we get above that 3 and we get above 480, that's a psychological level. And then I think we have a shot for $500 before year end if they decide they want to push this thing. So was acting very euphoric today. Just my 2 cents. All right, looking at the NASDAQ, we're just above that trend support line, from this August. Can't tell you exactly what date. Well, let me see if I can get it to pop. There it goes. August 18th, top low of 354.79. So that was our back test of that. Then we broke below it. Then it failed. It went back and held. So it's fairly important. Then went back and tested our secondary support line back in the later part of October. And we get up, provided resistance again, rejected it. Now we're just poking our head back above it. So this line is very important. I'm going to throw an alert up here just so we get a physical look. So 404.07 below that is a break below it. It still could be choppy around here. One thing when you're skirting a trend line, you're pushing from both sides. In other words, the bulls are trying to push it over it, the bears are trying to push it below it, kind of thing. So expect that just a little bit. But, even though we don't have a confirmed high like here, we do have some divergence in our high here. So, right here, I'm going to look at this as drive 1 or whatever this leg is. And I'm going to say that we're going to head up towards something like this as far as our divergence line that we'll be looking to shop. Okay, actually, let me change the color. It's not divergence yet. It will be. All right, so the dark blue line means there is divergence or it is a breakout line. Okay, the lighter, thinner line means that we potentially have that in play. All right, so let's look at the Dow real quick. You know, real flaggy looking to me, real flaggy. We got one pole here, another flag here. You know, nice pole, flag here, boom. Nice pole, nice flag here. I see no reason this doesn't continue to the upside. Just a beautiful thing. Now, one thing that did change is on the daily, our confirmed high legged up here. So this is now our confirmed high. So I'm going to come in here and draw that thingamajigger, that liney thing here. Just say maybe something like that, where our divergent line might end up. So that would be sort of that look. Looking at the Russells, and forgive me, I'm going to make sure I'm sharing this chart because I'll be ticked off if I ran it again without sharing it. I do that a lot. I actually to record the video and I forget to click the button. It's absolutely infuriating. It needs to be automatic. I've sent like 20 emails to this, whatever this app's called that I use. But hey, so Russells, we're looking for maybe an interwave, maybe 3 around 203. You know, it's in play. Nice gap, flaggy look. Oh, I love that. So again, we've sort of stalled. I just want to go back. SPY sort of stalled. NASDAQ, more bullish than the SPY, but I still would say categorically we sort of stalled, grinding, right? Now, sort of stalled, but grinding as well on the Dow. And we're putting an inside day in here for today on the Russell. So breath has waned a little bit going into this week, which I think was expected, okay? Now, the other thing that we have here, we also have what I believe is going to be a confirmed high here. So I'm going to come in and draw my thingamajigger here, my line giving me a visual. It's just so when I look at the chart really quick, I can say, hey, oh, maybe we have some resistance and divergence I should be looking at. Okay, that's what it just tells me. All right, so, you know, ultimately, then we get a back test about 196. Not a deep drawdown, but should. Now this could tighten right up too, by the way. Could tighten right up. You can see how broad this is. This one usually is shallower. So if we're going to accelerate, the Russells will tell us. All right. Looking at TLT, you know, looking for that primary wave 3. Give me, I got to move my thingy jig down at 99.48. Then our next entry long should be back down around 97. And then we're heading to $100. So if you don't have a piece of, now, the only thing I'm going to say here, actually, let me check. Nope, nothing's changed as far as the count. Excuse me. Next entry long is going to be down around 96, 93. So it's drifted just a little. This could be our top here, this high at 99.35. So you know how, I mean, those of you who have followed me, I talk about our 5 being just a little bit higher than our 3. So if our 3 does come in at that 99.48, remember our high was here at 99.35, 99.48, and then our 5 is going to be a 106.61. So that's less than $1. All right. That's how tight they get. So that's one reason I don't like trading 5. That's just, you know, that's a great example of why. I like the 3. Now, in this case, 3 is not our longest wave here. Wave 1 is. So what's that tell me? That wave 3 could jump way the heck up here and push up to 110, right? I mean, that's just telling me what it could do. So, you know, just looking at the structure of how waves manifest, that's just my thought. Okay, now going to jump to something else real quick. Okay, so I want to jump into retirement income options. Make sure I got the right ones. Share the screen. Okay, so now these are Kirk's punch card stocks for retirement income options. Now, to be very candid, I don't know if he's doing them yet. These are just the other 8-wave counts. I haven't gotten that far. We'll get caught up shortly. Okay, so starting off with Amgen, you know, probably cash secured puts is the only thing I'd really be interested in right here. We're looking at for our intermediate wave coming in around 300 or 299 right in that range, and then a back test for the 4. So stay below that 4. So I'd stay, you know, maybe right at the 50% back around 270. If I was going to sell cash secured puts, should be a safe spot to be. Then we had Gilead. You know, it's funny. Gilead was on my radar down here. I was looking at it down here. It's funny. Now we have our confirmed high with a little divergence right there. So it's sort of toppy up there. So we poked our head above the breakout line, which is right at the 8-day. Back testing just a little bit. So, you know, 50% back still is doable. So maybe 78, 78.50. You know, if it does pull back a little bit, go a little bit lower than that. Go all the way down to 77, actually. And it's done nothing wrong. Then our next target one is up around 89. All right, looking at Comcast. I really like actually where this is. It's pushing right on the 200-day, almost over it. So what's my rule? Above the 200-day, what am I? Bullish. Above the 8-day resistance, what am I? Bullish. Okay, wherever the heck my 8-day resistance is, I'm not seeing it on this chart, which is always kind of weird when I can't find it. But So our next target is going to be about 46 bucks, 49.91 off of this. So, right now we have a primary wave setup with a weekly trigger, and our breakout line, and forgive me, I don't have it here, is going to be right about where we are, about 44.82 will be our breakup. So maybe a full position after we get this back test to our 2 around 43. I just wait till that 43 and then put something, or sell cash secured puts in. All right, looking at Center Energy. All right, nice spot here. New primary wave setup with a 90-minute trigger, just blue. Intermediate wave measures up at 31 from where we are. So I like the upside with this. I like the structure, the way it looks out of everything I looked at. So cash secured puts, and it gets back above the 50-day. Close above the 50-day, which is right there. We're just about there. We're going to back test this too. So I would wait for that push 1 and that back test. Always wait for the back test. Always wait for the back test. Always wait for the back. All right. So, we're looking for that 31.41 on CTRA. All right. Looking at FTD Bank. Now, I want to start off with a weekly here. We have a lot of noise down here, but next target's about 83. I think we need to really go out to the monthly to get a visual here. They had a huge flush. From the Great Recession, the financial crisis afterwards, this took huge. So they must have been heavy in residential market. I don't know. I don't know the macro behind this, but that's huge flush. So 50% back to me. Just quick visual look, 3 seconds here. 100 fib, so 110 bucks is 50% back. However, when I measure this whole leg, 50% back only comes in down here, and we've already put it in. So we've already gone through, according to my thesis on my golden boxes. Golden box 1 is in. So close above the 78.6. We're looking for the next box, about around 156 up on that top. We got a breakout line overhead. However, Count disagrees. Count says we're going to build out this flat here, put in our C, which is more indicative of back testing these lows, which is why I have this trend support line. So this was our original trend support. We now have a second one. Now let me go back to the weekly. And this is where I have the first trend support line and that second. So if we're going to reject price off of our 3, which we could, and you look at the breadth of 2, breadth of 3 is typically 50% of 2. So it's back to trend support 1. But it's done nothing wrong to go back to trend support 2, just to give you an idea. This is very challenging for me to say chase this with how tight that top looks. However, cash secured puts with a tight top typically work. So sell some cash secured puts. That makes sense? All right. Somebody, by all means, if you have any questions after the fact, post them on the videos. I'd love to answer them. All right. Looking at Juniper Networks. Now, middle of the road, and I was really conservative in this draft because there's a much more negative draft. When I look at a chart, I'm very thorough. I look at it, or I think I look at every, or my effort is to look at every option. Sometimes I miss some, but basically break below the 8-day, I'm short. Break below this higher high or lower high, then I'm bullish, because then I think we will take this out. Just the thought, because markets will pick up on that. Just, the thesis, it's in the middle of nowhere. There's no nothing huge here on RSI. It's all over the map. It's got this huge channel between 15 bucks and really, 38 bucks. So it would be suggestive that at least if it breaks out, we're going to touch the top of the candle. So if we put a higher low in next, it's probably worth chasing it low. That's just my 2 cents. As far as suggestions, nothing's coming to mind right this second. All right, essential properties, really. This is also in a flat, except for we have sort of a confirmed low. Divergence on our low. Our confirmed lows over here. So this can't be confirmed because that's a low on low side. However, we have a low on RSI and a higher low on RSI, so we have divergence on this low. So that indicates this flat created a bottom, and it happens to be consistent here. So if I draw out the flat, I come up with 28 bucks. Again, I'm probably being a little conservative on that. I don't think we get above this just with this look. However, I have this, and I had this, and we got that. 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 So I got this. So do we get that? There's a good chance we could right here, which would put us above that C, closer to 50% back. So, I kind of like this off of that 2, back towards the 200-day, around about $23 back there, $23.50 maybe. That would be a good spot to scale from. And that's what I've got for today, folks. I just wanted to cover those additional or new names on retirement income options. Please like and share. If you guys have any questions, please jump in. Otherwise, until next time, folks, great trading.